I'm coming to you with breaking updates on the Nancy Guthrie investigation.
Oh, guys, that gets me. Like, I can't. It gets me. It gets me. It gets me. Listen. I didn't say that. All right, I did not say that. Like, it just still gets me. It tugs at my heartstrings, and I'm not even in the family. I couldn't imagine doing a crime like that and then having to listen to the pleas. Oh my god. Okay, so real quick, we're back on the ransom note for just a second and the media release. The classic one: she has the money to hire the best private investigator. Don't depend on cops to solve the case because they won't. Keep the case active. I'll leave that up for a minute. This is Monday. Yeah, this is super recent. Today's Friday. This happened on Monday. After this happened on Monday, then it kicked off the release of the ransom notes. That was just minutes before I hopped on here. Okay. And then while I was researching this case, I also found out about Derek Kella and Carlos Palazuela. So that's part of this case. And are they actually still connected to it? What happened? Are we going to know? Why did they do a plea deal? What evidence did they have? We know nothing. I do too. And even if she doesn't know exactly who it is, I think she does, if that makes sense. All right. So Pima County put out a release today, media release on July 31st, Nancy Guthrie investigation update, video, and ransom note details. All right. The Pima County Sheriff's Department and Federal Bureau of Investigations Phoenix field office have been working together for the past 6 months to locate Nancy Guthrie. Nancy was last confirmed at her residence in Catalina Foothills neighborhood in Tucson on the evening of January 31st. All right, so it would have been February 5th when they talked about the deadline, and then February 9th. Throughout our collective investigative resources, with the assistance of private sector, we have recovered videos from her resident showing an unidentified male who knows what happened to Nancy. Now, 2 videos recovered from Nancy's doorbell may be from 2 separate days. These videos are critical to our understanding of the unidentified male's behavior and choices. They indicate that he took steps to prepare for the event on the night of January 31st to February 1st. Investigators continue to pursue every available technological and investigative lead. However, community members remain a vital resource as we seek to provide answers for Nancy's family. We would like to thank those who have already provided tips and information. We're asking for the public's continued assistance and are confident that you can further the effort. All right, we're asking for their assistance, and we know there are individuals familiar with this unidentified male who may have been observed changes in his behavior around the time frame of the videos, to include, all right, guys, this is people that need a second. They need to have a second. They need to think again. All right, they need to think back and say, "Oh shit, that guy kind of looks like it, or that looks like this person." And man, oh my god, it just clicked. The day after, he wouldn't let me come over for lunch like he normally does, and he was acting shady. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? MP Daughtry, happy Friday. My goodness, you're spoiling me. What do I get? What do I owe this? Pleasure. $5, guilty of crime. Happy birthday, Jay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Friday. And I did have a really great birthday. Guys, shout out for Leo season, July 31st, 2026. Come out, Leos. Come on out. There's one of my Leos right here. All right. So look, they're looking for activity. Okay. They want activity. They want more leads. This is the deal right here. So they're saying, hey, if somebody displays a change in mood or anxiety, maybe nervousness or irritability. Now, this is around the time is what they're saying. A change of physical appearance, hair, color, or cut, growth, or removal of facial hair. Guys, everybody changed. Everybody changed. Look at this. When you look at this, or these, because these aren't the real pictures, but they are on the bottom. Everybody changed. Look at Luke shaved himself, cut all his facial hair off, went clean shaven, and suited and booted all the way to the arms up. What about this guy? What about freaking Tommaso? One of the biggest changes, and then he disappeared for a while, right? He covered his face. And how do we know what happened with the beard? Derek Kella looks way different. That may be because of the age and the meth. Now, the meth was proven. So you guys want to know if he was on drugs? He was. All right. It says in the article, or what I was reading earlier said he was on methamphetamines and he has to go to rehab, and then they're looking at 10 years probation. All right. So all of these people, it's everybody. All right. But mostly, guess what, guys? Annie and Tommaso were hiding their faces like crazy. Why do you think? Why were they trying to disguise their walk? What were they crying extra for? All right, let's continue. All right. So listen, a change of physical appearance. We talked about that. Unexplained injuries, cuts on hands, bruises during the period Nancy was last seen. Normal routine changes, missing work, classes, or appointments. Sudden departures from the area around the time of her disappearance. Vehicles cleaning or repairs. Unexplained interest in or disinterest in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. Noticeable intense interest in the investigation, or an unexplained knowledge of this situation, right? Now, look, 2 ransom notes are attached to this media release. They were sent to local and national media outlets that purport to have been written by kidnappers, right? Now, the local CBS affiliate in Tucson, the KOLD, received the first note on February 2nd. Now, guys, mind you, Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped on the night into the morning of January 31st to February 1st. The ransom note seemed to be an afterthought, because the first note was not received until February 2nd, where they gave them till February 5th, 3 days. All right. And the second on February 6th, they gave them to February 9th, and they'd have to up the price. Now, these communications revealed distinctive patterns of word choice, syntax, and phraseology that reflects the writer's unique linguistic style. Anyone remind that of anything? They also provide valuable insight into the person's mindset, motives, and the evolution of their tone over time. As with the unidentified male depicted in the video, we believe these distinctive linguistic characteristics may be recognizable to someone who knows or has interacted with the note's writer, right? Like the Unabomber, right? The Unabomber's brother-in-law turned him in because he knew how he writes. Now, a friend, family member, coworker, classmate, or acquaintance may recognize these patterns of expression and possess information that can help identify the individual responsible. In some cases, there are times when people who may have knowledge initially that they don't come forward. This may be due to their close relationship with those who might be involved, as well as a concern for their own safety, reputation, or standing in the community and amongst their friends. All right. We recognize relationships and loyalties change over time, as do people and their perspectives. It's not too late to come forward, regardless of how insignificant you think your information may be, or whether you think we're already aware of it. Please contact them. All right. 1-800-CALL-FBI, or 1-800-CALL-FBI, or 1-800-225-5324. Guys, you can remain anonymous, and I hope that they stick with that. This is a reward available for your information. Guys, there's still a reward for $1.25 million. All right, so we went over the first letter. Hey, Indy. Good to see you, my friend. Party hat. All right, so we went over those. plausible. Wait, who? The classic one. Could be a never know. All male. Normal male kidnapper would say she's buried in the desert. I know, right? Hey, they love. Good to see you, right? That a normal kidnapper, you would think. Okay, so here are the ransom notes, and they ask, what if you see anyone or if anything has changed, let us know. Now, before we even continue going further into it, two people right off the bat that interjected themselves into this. One being Derek Kella. Now, I'm not going to say that Carlos Palazuelos directed him or inserted himself, but he certainly was detained. Right? This is Derek Kella, guys. This is the guy that you see right here, the big face on the right of me that's connected to Annie and Tommaso. That's Derek Kella that wrote the fake I want my money text messages and also called Annie and Tommaso and was on the phone for 9 seconds. All right. Which is enough time to say, hey, meet me at Starbucks, click, or whatever. Okay. So this is him, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about it. Accused of faking a ransom note, took a plea July 2nd, and he's facing 10 years probation and rehab time. Crazy.
I think the first time we came was for a friend's promotion. Figured we'd play a couple of hands and then leave.
That was 6 months. A fake ransom note to Nancy Guthrie's family has pleaded guilty. Derek Kella is from California. He entered pleas on 2 felony charges involving sending a ransom demand and making threats. 13 News reporter Peyton May was inside the courtroom and joins us live now. Peyton, walk us through the terms of the plea agreement.
Yeah, Val, Kella pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts and admitted to all of the evidence presented against him by the government. Now, he was arrested back in February after the FBI said he sent text messages to 2 members of the Guthrie family, and local law enforcement hope that his sentencing can discourage others from doing the same.
You know what they didn't say? They didn't talk about the phone call. Yes, Carlos Palazuelos is suing, and Derek Kella is facing time for the fake ransom note. 2 people.
Amidst a flurry of letters and tips received in the months after Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, one man has pled guilty for his role in misleading law enforcement and causing harm to the Guthrie family. During his plea agreement, 42-year-old Derek Anthony Kella admitted to calling and sending text messages to the Guthrie family, posing as her kidnapper and asking for Bitcoin payment. He'll receive 10 years probation at his sentencing on September 10th and has been ordered to report to a treatment addiction center in the meantime.